particular presentation of data is often the heart, or better, the brain of scientific papers. So it's important for us to learn how to design effective tables like this. Before proceeding to the how-to of the tables, let's first examine the question of whether to. That means when to use tables. As a rule, do not construct a table unless repetitive data must be presented. There are two reasons for these general rules. First, it is simple, not good sense to regurgitate reams of data just because you have them in your laboratory notebooks. Only samples and the breakpoints need to be given. Remember, the breakpoint samples is enough sometimes. Second, the cost of publishing tables can be higher compared with that of text. And all of us involved with the generation and the publication of scientific literature should worry about the cost. Here is some of the tables. What do you guys think? This is necessary? The table is necessary? Perhaps the data presented in the table can be given in the text itself in a form that is really comprehensible to the reader without taking up space with the table. You don't have to show like this. Only one sentence is enough to show. So the table is not necessary, unnecessary. How about this table? It's good? It's necessary? Also, perhaps it's not. The independent variable column, like the temperature, looks reasonable enough, but the dependent variable column, growth, have a suspicious number of zeros, then a large number of zeros, then a lot of zeros. Also the question, any table with a large number of zeros or a large number of 100, when percentages are used. It is useless table because all it tells us is that the oak seedlings grow at temperature between 20 to 40s. No measurable growth occurred at temperature below 20s or about 40s, like there are a lot of zeros. So you can just use this one sentence to solve the whole tables. Which one is easier to understand? Of course, the sentence. So the table is not necessary. In this case, do not use the table. How about this? The oxygen requirement of various species of strip methane. Let's see. In addition to 0 and 100, the subspace of plus and minus signs. There are a lot of plus and minus signs. The above tables is of a type that often appear in print, although it is obviously not very informative. All this table tells us is that, like this kind of can grow under aerobic conditions, whereas another like this is minus sign. That means they require some the anaerobic conditions. While a table or column within a table can be readily put into work, then do it. Do not use the table instead. How about this? Like bacteriological affiliate bits. Some authors believe that all number data must be put in a table. The above table is a sad example. It gets better when we learn that the results were not statistically significant anyway. In this case, we also do not use the table. Just use some text, some words is enough. One sentence in the results would have done the job. Like the difference between the failure rates is 14% for methionine and 26% for potassium file, and was not significant. So if we can use one sentence to show, do not use table. How about this? This table is good or not? Another very common but usually useless table is the word list. Such a list might be suitable for a slide in a presentation, but it does not belong in a scientific paper. This information could easily be present in the text. If we can easily present the data in text, do not use the table. So the rules, when to use tables. The rule is present the data in the text or in a table or in a figure. Never present the same data in more than one way. Of course, select data can be singled out for discussing in the text. If you can use the text, just use the text. The above 5 tables provide typical example of the kind of material that should not be tabulated. Now, let us look at material that should be tabulated. Follow the rules is important. Then, when we need to use the table, then we should erase the table material. How to decide to tabulate? You ask yourself the question, how do I erase the data? Since a table has both left, right, and up, down, that means you have 2 choices. The data can be present either horizontally or vertically. Which one do you choose? Like vertically or horizontally? And there are some equivalent except the above table read cross, where the below table read down. Which one is better, you think? The above one or the below one? The above one is read cross, and the below one is read down. What do you think? The below one is preferred format because it allows the reader to grasp the information more easily, the below one, and it is more compact and thus less expensive to print. Words in a column are lined up on the left. See? Numbers are lined up on the right. See? So the below one is better. It's another example of a well-constructed table. It, like this, is a big table. It reads down, not cross. Its title and the headings are clear enough for reader to understand the data read after referring to the text. You just focus on the table, you know what it talks. Items in the body of the table appear in the logical order, some of the logical orders, so it's okay. It's good. And the footnote provides supplementary information on how the data were obtained rather than repeat extensive methodological details. Some of the rules also at the below. Here, not so. Note that these tables have 3 horizontal rows, like 3 rows, horizontal rows, but no vertical rows. Vertically, all tables are constructed this way. All the tables should be constructed this way. Occasionally, straddle rows, like here, straddle rows, are used. Not often be used, but occasionally straddle rows can be used. Vertical rows normally are not used in the table, like the vertical rows are not used in the tables. So for us, if when we prepared the tables, we have to following the journal's instruction. Like instruction for authors commonly include a section about tables. Before preparing your tables, check the instructions to the author of your target journal. These instructions may indicate such terms as the dimensions of the space available and the symbols or form of lettering for indicating footnotes to tables, and electronic tools to use in preparing tables. Also, we should looking at tables in the journal as examples, can also aid in preparing suitable tables. Style manuals in the thesis provide guidance in preparing not only text but also tables and figures. If your target journal specifies as a style manual that it follows, conduct it in this regard. Even if the journal does not specify a style manual, looking at one relevant to your field can aid in preparing effective table and figures. Traditionally, Journals have asked authors to submit each table on a separate page at the end of the text. In addition, some journals have said to identify in the margin of the text the first mention of each table, for example, by writing Table 3 and circle it. This procedure helps ensure that the author has indeed cited each table in the text in numerical order. It also indicates to the compositor at the page make-up stage where to break the text to insert the tables. Some journals ask authors to embed tables in the text near their first mention, and some journals ask authors to submit tables as separate files to determine whether tables should be placed within the text, placed at the end, or provided in separate files. Conduct the instruction to authors. For the table titles, footnotes, and abbreviations, we have to pay attention to the following. The title of the table or the legend of the figure is like the title of the paper itself. That is, the title or legend should be concise and not divided into two or more clause or sentence. Unnecessary words should be omitted. Give carefully thought to the footnotes to your tables. If abbreviations must be defined, you often can give all or most of definitions in the first table. Then the later tables can carry the simple footnotes abbreviation as in Table 1. Note that temp is used as an abbreviation for temperature because of space limitations in tables. Almost all journals encourage abbreviation of certain words in the tables that would not be abbreviated in the text. Just remember this. Capitalize any such abbreviations used as the first word in the column heading. Do not use periods, except after number. This might be misread without the period. To identify abbreviations that your target journal considers acceptable in tables, you can look at tables published in the journal. Also, some journals list in their instruction to author the abbreviation that can be used without definition in tables that they published. That means you have to read some the instructions. They can provide a lot of information sometimes. Also, you can read some of the previous papers, the similar papers published in the in your target journal. There are some additional tips on tables. The following are some further tips help ensure that you design and use table effectively. First, use wording that will be clear without reference to the text. For example, a table should not just refer to group 1 or group 2. Rather, it should identify each group by more meaningful designation. For example, high dose group, low dose group will be better. If a table includes a series tables represent the analogous table, analogous data, use the analysis format for ease. For example, if several tables compare the same 4 groups from different standpoints, list the 4 groups in the same order in each table. Do not use different formats. Such consistency saves readers' efforts. Finally, remember to mention every table in the text. Do so as soon as readers are likely to want to see the table. You have gone to the effort of preparing good tables. Be sure that readers can benefit fully from them. That's for this section, for this part. Thank you for your attention.